Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Planescape Torment, Enhanced Edition. Alright, let's see if we can figure out what these mercy killers want, and and then maybe quaff some other drinks. Let's see. Who's the one who keeps wandering around? Probably that one, so let's go talk to this guy. You see a grizzled, burly man in spiked armor. He eyes you coolly and slowly, up and down, evaluating you. He pauses for a time on your face, almost as if it jogs his memory somehow. He sighs then and says, "Can I help you with something, friend?" Did you recognize me? I thought I did, but those pictures are centuries out of date, and the suspect would be dead by now. Of course, these are the plains, and stranger things have happened. Still, if you're the feller I'm thinking of, it looks like you've served your sentence by means of pain. What can you tell me about this person you're talking about? 'Twas a particularly brutal criminal, from what I understand. This was, of course, centuries ago. Immense strength, they said, and enough anger to tear the head from a barrier. Not a sod to be messing with. Word is he got himself surrounded by a Red Death patrol, escaped through a portal, and hasn't been seen since. He frowned, studying you. They have pictures of him. Take away some of the scars, and you might be related to him. Probably not that, though. Sounds like a nasty fellow. I had some other questions about something else. I'm looking for a journal. Have you seen one? I see far too much on the mean streets of Sigil, friend. Unless this journal is something spectacular, chances are good I ain't seen it. Very well. Who are you? Me, I'm Tarner. What's with the outfit? It's a uniform of a kind. We're the Red Death, mercy killers. We're the justice folks. Someone commits a crime, we bring him to justice. Be right wrongs, too. You want to know more? Go talk to one of them recruiters. Fair enough. Who are your friends here? They're Caleb and Ilsidon. Caleb's a new meat, a new recruit. Ilsidon's a muscle. I'm the brains. What are you doing here? Waiting for a criminal. This'll be Eager Caleb's first arrest, if the Burke we're waiting for ever shows up. I'm not. We already know. He's basically already answered that. Okay. Are you Ilsidon? No. Good luck. Alright, it's this guy. An armored behemoth, this man is huge. He also appears to have a very keen eye and misses nothing that transpires around him. It also seems that he has no interest in speaking to you. I'd like to ask you some questions. The man stares at you as if you have as if you were some form of bug. He stares at you, blinking slowly. He turns his head, then dismissing you without speaking a word. Hello? You hear a subterranean rumble beginning deep in the man's chest. He lightly strokes his weapon and stares at you with a renewed interest. If that's where you want to be, farewell. Well, jeez. How rude. Alright, well, other than just the, patrons, there's not much, Well, you know what? Let's go talk to Mokai again. Nope. Alright. Let's just watch her leave. Oh, also, one thing that we can do.
Endure. I hear your words. I will hear you. Balance in all. It is I. Endure. I hear your words. I will hear you. Balance in all things. Your reasons for your incessant clicking are not known to me. The flesh knows that it suffers. Even on the blasted plains, Zerthamon told Gith that there cannot be two skies. In Zerths are those that know the words of Zerthamon. They protect the Githzerai communities against all threats, whether to the body or to the spirit.
Don't always know when they're done.
Endure. I hear your word. I will hear you. Balance. It is I. Endure. I hear your I will hear you. Balance. Your reasons for your the flesh knows that it suffers, even when the mind does not. On the blasted plains, Zerthamon told Gith that there cannot be two skies.
Okay.
In the wake of his words came...
I think we're done there. Alright, anyone else interesting? That's July. Amarice. Name sounds familiar. She has very pink hair, jeez. You see a young woman dressed in a tight leather bodice and leggings. She smells faintly of cheap perfume, and her face, though pretty, is painted with garish makeup. She smiles coyly when she sees you. Seeking some company, love? Are you, by any chance, Amarice? Why is the street all blurry? Oh yeah, I was going to drink some other stuff in there. That's right, I should go back in and do that. She stares at you silently for a time, then speaks. I was called that once, long ago. Who are you? I was sent to find you by Nod, your brother. He's worried about you, and hoped I could tell him how you were. Nod? He's alive? Where? Why didn't he come to seek me out himself? I think he's ashamed. He's a collector now, living in poverty in Ragpicker's Square. He doesn't seem quite right. In the head, I mean.
Updated my journal.
Aye, he was a bit touched even as a child, when his name was Thodus. Oh, I've missed him so. Ashamed, though? Me own work's no more proud. Ah, well, at least I'm doing well for myself. For a hiver, at any rate, eh? I must visit him soon. She looks at you closely for the first time since you've spoken. Are ye a friend of Nod's, or? Of a sort, yeah. Why? Could ye... She frowns, biting her lip, as if considering something. Could you give this to him? She steps close to you and offers a pouch of what looks to be 100 copper commons. Yes, I swear I'll get it to him.
Updated my journal.
She hands you the pouch. I thank you. Go speak to Nod for me, and tell him how I worry about him so. I will. Farewell. So we could keep that ourselves, but I also want to point out that I have changed slightly. I am now lawful good. Not that it matters that much. Wow, this is just like the Harlot Street or something, isn't it? Alright, let's head back in there. One more drinks.
All right.
Yes, I want something to drink. Beer. You quaff the weak drink. The flavor isn't exactly bold. Okay, give me another drink. Bitters. It is also weak. Give me another drink. Oh, you know what? Nothing, farewell. Let's save it just in case. Oh, cannot save the game. Well, what do you mean? There we go. Drink. Alright, fire wine and fire seeds. He passes you a glass of deepest red wine and a handful of brightly colored seeds. Stick the seeds in your mouth, he advises, and take a swig of the wine. Don't be surprised when the seeds catch fire. They won't do you any harm. It's a taste like no other. He's right. When you pop a seed into your mouth, they're like pop rocks. It mingles with your saliva and bursts into a tiny flame. You quench it with the swallow of fire wine, and the taste is indescribable. Barkus smiles. Want another? Yeah, keep them coming. Heart wine. He passes you a glass of Kirst's famous heart wine. The bouquet is breathtaking, and the wine itself is full-bodied and fruity. The aftertaste leaves nothing to be desired. Made from real razor vine, that is. Wish I knew the secret. The barkeep nods at the empty glass. Want another? I certainly do. Give me some whiskey. He places a shot of some steaming substance that looks like boiling urine in front of you. The fumes that waft your way, however, are exquisitely tempting. The taste, though nearly unbearably hot, is as smoky as the scent. The feel of the liquor burning its way to your gut is nearly painful, yet even this pain is sweet. The barkeep's eyes widen. Still standing? Most folks can't even make it halfway through the first shot. I feel fine. I don't even feel anything. The barkeep considers you carefully, resting his chin on his hand. You know, Cutter, there's some as have a natural immunity to poisons and such. Some folks call Bubba poison. If that's the case, chances are good you got yourself a handy little defense against poisoners. Well, how about that? Give me another drink anyway. Let's just have the fire wine again. No, That's fine. Has anything happened to me? I currently have a luck bonus. Doesn't look like anything has happened to me. So out we go.
I'm gone.
All right. Let's see. Barking Wilder. This wild-eyed man is hunched over, snarling and giving low growls. It looks as if he hasn't trimmed his hair in years. It's so long it forms a veil over his eyes. He has a long, stringy mustache caked with grease and sweat, and the tips of the mustache droop so much that they have become tangled in his ragged beard. Greetings! The man stops in mid-snarl, and he reaches up to part the curtain of hair that covers his eyes. As his withered hand pulls away his dirty locks, several strange, puce-colored bugs fall from his hair and scatter across the cobblestones. Ew. Behind the cloak of hair, the man's flesh is moon-pale and creased with wrinkles. His thick, bushy eyebrows form a V as he stares at you. Take the moon and fly too? No, we're not gonna fly among, I'm not gonna take you to the moon and fly among the stars. Play among the stars, whatever that lyric is. Take your hand and fly to the moon. Not today, friend. The man frowns, but his eyebrows tilt up in a reverse V, creating a bizarre expression. You have no idea how he accomplished the facial expression, but it makes you uncomfortable watching the muscles beneath his face shift into the new pattern. You can't tell whether he's angry, curious, both, or neither. Sing, kiss, speak, a man, answer is prefer a wood woman heart. A single kiss speaks a woman's heart, but a man's answer is what you would prefer? Very well, then. But know this, my answer is a question, and an answer from you is what I would prefer. Oh, there's more. I'm pretty sure I'm getting a lot of these because I have, because of my, high intelligence and wisdom. The man seems mesmerized by your voice. With every word you speak, a light flickers in his eyes. Barking Wilder am I am. A wanton asking may you may? I'm looking for a lost journal. Do you know where I might find one? Wow, 1,000 experience points. He frowns, squints his eyes shut, then opens them back up. When he speaks again, his voice is level and straightforward. It's like a different, saner person is speaking. The effect is eerie. More than one lost, more than one must you find. Each part of you had one, so what? More than one must you find. He blinks and shakes his head for a moment, as if surprised at himself. Then chuckles uneasily. Can you tell me where at least one of them is?
Updated my journal.
He looks like he is about to object, then suddenly his left fist comes up and smacks him on the temple. He howls in response, then suddenly stops, blinking. One is in a cupboard in your guest room in the Hall of the Sensates, and another is in the walls of a tomb sealed deep beneath the city where the stones weep. The others are... Before he can finish, his right fist comes up and smashes him in the face, causing him to yowl again. He blinks and shakes his head for a moment, as if surprised at himself, then smiles uneasily. Okay, so we need to head to the Hall of the Sensates, and, I'm pretty sure the walls of a tomb sealed deep beneath the city are probably... Oh, yeah, where the stones weep. That's right. Yeah, that's down in the Hivelands place. Hall of the Sensates, where's that? Barking Wilder holds up his hand. He doesn't seem to recall what he just said. I had some other questions. He claps his hands delightedly, like a child at a festival, then gives a howling shout. Question! Question! Do not shun this question. Who or what are you? Chaos! He stutters out the word, as if having difficulty getting his tongue around it. Some say Chaositex, some say... Chaos men. Men no. Nem no. Men yes. 3 no's make a yes. He hunches down on his knees and begins to rock back and forth, singing in a childlike soprano. Chaos Man, hop along home. A faction it is, yet we are alone. Ah, so you were one of the Chaos Men. Very well. I had some other questions. No asking today. Farewell. Well, that's a tree with one snapped branch too many. Mort rolls his eyes. No sense in chatting with Chaos Techs, Chief. They're a barmy bunch. I thought I might be able to learn something from him, and I did, Mort. Never mind, let's go. So now we have to find the Hall of the Sensates. We've got a door here. Is that a Dabus? The strange-looking chair seems to be where the patron sits. You see a Dabus, but something about it strikes you as odd. It has the same shock of white hair, the same greenish cast to its skin, the same pair of goat horns. Then you suddenly realize this one is walking on the ground, not floating. For some reason, that makes you uneasy. I had some questions for you. The Dabus waits. Who are you? As you were about to ask, you suddenly realize you already know this Dabus' name. His name is Fel. As if in response, the Dabus inclines his head slightly, and a lone symbol appears above his head. It is blurry at first, then resolves into a white oval with a black lightning bolt through it. I feel like I know you, Fel. Fel bows reverently, and a stream of symbols swirl about his head, rotating clockwise, then counterclockwise. It takes you a moment to translate. This is the first time and not the first time you have come to this place. Do you know who I am? Another series of symbols materialize quickly and sharply into focus above Fel's head. The translation comes to you just as quickly and sharply as the symbols themselves, and as if you have translated the exact same string many times before. Yes, but I am not permitted to tell your story. Why not?
Updated my journal.
For a moment there is no response from Fel. Then a stream of rebuses appear, as if trickling out of Fel's mind. My apologies, I cannot change the nature of a man. You can't explain why, but the last sentence sends a crawling sensation through your skull. Nature of a man? What does that mean? Symbols that appear above Fel almost mirror the previous stream. My apologies, I cannot say. I see, I had some other questions. What is this place? A slow train of symbols materialize around Fel's head. The symbols take several moments to resolve, starting with simple lines, then fleshing themselves out into breathtaking colors. This is where I tattoo color and life upon the flesh and bone. Oh. Can I see what tattoos you have? Ah. That is a lot of tattoos. That is a lot of tattoos. Alright, Tattoo of the Restless Dead invokes Bless. This tattoo recognizes your effort to calm the restless dead of the mausoleum. You may draw upon their gratitude to bless yourself or your companions. Only has a limited number of uses before it vanishes. It's not too expensive. Tattoo of the Skull. Special temporary. +1 save versus paralyzation and luck. +1 to charisma, -1 to wisdom. For all of Mort's faults, having him as a companion makes you seem more capable and not so much of a stranger to Sigil streets. This tattoo reinforces that bond, giving you +1 to charisma, and when invoked, it also lends you some of Mort's luck and his ability to shrug off anything that would otherwise cause him to stop talking, such as paralyzation or stunning. Unfortunately, it also gives the user a penalty to their wisdom, which is not hard to understand considering how little Mort has to spare. This tattoo can only call upon its luck ability a limited number of times. When the tattoo's power is exhausted, however, the charisma bonus will remain. Tattoo of Accuracy. Thaco +1. This tattoo has 2 concentric rings with lines radiating from the center. When inscribed on the skin, the wearer's perceptions of distance and balance become heightened, giving their actions greater accuracy. Can I sell anything here? No. Bloodletting, +1 to damage with all attacks. Ooh. Tattoo of Might, +1 to strength. Ooh. Although my strength is not that good. Greater Might, +2 to strength. Insight, +1 to intelligence. Revelation, +2 to intelligence. Spirit, +1 to wisdom. Greater chance of gaining memories and giving him a greater percentage of experience points earned. Not bad. Tattoo of the Soul, +2 to Wisdom. So Dexterity and +2 to Dexterity. Health is +1 to Constitution. +2 to Constitution. Why is that only usable by fighters? That's silly. Charisma. Enduring, +3 to hit points. +9 to hit points. Warding, +1 to armor. Ooh. 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 Ding. I'll buy that one. I'll buy that for $1. Alright. Armor class of 2. Yes! Oh! So good. Alright. Anything else that I want? Stat-wise, I mean, I could always go for a bonus to Wisdom, Intelligence, or Charisma. +1 to hit, or bonus to damage, actually might be better. Alright, so accuracy is +1 to hit, +1 to damage. I seem to have been... I think I've been hitting well enough, so I'm going to go for this one for now. And it looks like you can get some as well, so eventually we'll probably want to get him some. Bonus to Strength, Dexterity, or Constitution would be really good. Bonus to Intelligence would probably be good too. I had some questions. What lies behind that curtain, Fel? A caravan train of symbols slowly materialize around Fel, one by one. It is my gallery. Your discarded skins are my canvas. I admire you. I am saddened for you. Saddened for me? Why? Another caravan of symbols forms around Fel, this time forming a circle. The marks of torment lies upon your flesh. Tragedies and loss have built themselves upon it, like stones upon a foundation. You have endured great pain. What do you mean? Long string of rebuses appears above Fel's head. I admire you because you have never surrendered to the weight of these losses, despite the fact that their chains hang on you still. Go on. These losses blanket this life and all of your past ones. You shed lives like a molting serpent. You are exploring the infinite paths of life. Tell me more! A long string of rebuses appears above Fel's head, then falls suddenly to the floor, streaming out behind him like a shadow. Take with you this warning. Each of your lives cast a shadow on existence. You must travel to a place where these shadows have gone mad and regrets have scarred the earth. Is there anything else you can tell me? Do not sign anything. Okay, very well. Another series of rebuses appear, forming a spiral. They have a texture of questions about them. Do you feel complete? I don't. In fact, ever since I woke up in the mortuary, I feel like something's missing. Something inside. Well, you know, I mean, Mort is carrying some of my guts around. Fel nods, and a series of symbols materialize in a halo around him. You are strong. Keep faith, and you shall become whole again. Thanks, Fel. I may return later when I have some other questions.
Done.
So can I go back here? I can. Come along, everyone. A pattern of barbed black branches have been inscribed on this wall. Looks like a clock, but there are no numbers or hands on it. An unusual work of art. A burning skull has been inscribed in this wall. Two symbols of duality flank it. This design seems to be of a shadow casting a shadow. The silhouette of the shadow makes it unclear whether it is a man or a woman. This tattoo is of a night black steed with dead white eyes and spines bristling from its shoulder blades. This picture shows a blackened sphere with trails of black mist floating away from it. This design shows a series of black rivers whose courses divide across each other, then flow together. This design is a hollow beast with a tiny demon in its head. Oh, that is a lot of flesh. Human skin has been stretched across these wooden frames. The skins are covered with tattoos. So, these are apparently all my old skins, or something similar. That's a lovely thought. That is a lovely thought.
I'm gone.
These barrels are probably here to catch rainwater. The only thing that fills them is dust. Starved dog barking thug. This wild-eyed man is hunched over, barking and howling at the top of his lungs. Beneath his thick matted hair, you can make out a series of strange tattoos. They run the range from screaming faces to bizarre geometric shapes to what appear to be lines of verse. He is almost naked, but the dirt and filth covering him gives him the semblance of modesty. Lovely. Let's give a long, forlorn howl. The man whirls on you as he hears your howl, then gives a lopsided grin and he throws his head back, howling with you. You stop a few moments later, then resumes his loping about, snarling and barking like some feral dog. Snarl back at him, baring your teeth. The man's barking ends with a snarl, and he leaps at you. If this is how you want to die, Wolfman. Well, let's have some fun now, guys. Damn it. Oh, don't critically miss. Dirty rat charm.
Zerths are those that know the words of Zerthamon. They protect the Githzerai communities against all threats, whether to the body or to the spirit.
I like how he's saying this, and then he says, damn.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
Well,
I'm gone.
Let's go in. Painted door. What you first took to be a door in this archway is actually a painting. The artist has made use of... and yet it says the door is locked. The artist has made use of the shadows of the overhanging arch and some subtle texturing effects to give the door the illusion of substance. Let's examine the door. Other than the skill of the artist, there is nothing remarkable about the painting. The door has been painted on a rough stone wall. You can feel the stone and mortar beneath the painted wooden texture. We'll leave the door alone. I'm sure we'll be able to do something with that later. After all, it says that it's locked. Damsel in distress? Sure. I'm always out for helping a damsel in distress. You see a pretty young woman. Her hair is in disarray and the bodice of her dress is torn. She looks about in desperation and then notices you. Howdy! She runs up to you and grabs your arm. You notice the front of her dress is stained with blood. Help me, Cutter, please. They're killing my sister. She begins to tug on your arm. Who? She looks around wildly. This drunken man who followed us from one of the taverns. We thought he meant no harm. Please, Cutter, there is no more time. Help us. Wait, first you said they were killing your sister. Now you say he is killing her. Which is it? She stares at you, unsure of what to say. I'm distraught. I made a mistake. She glances at the blood that stains her dress. Please help me, Cutter. Let's examine the blood on her dress. You glance down at her dress and look at the blood. Although it does appear to be real, it is completely dried. It must be hours old. That blood is hours old. What are you up to? You see her eyes flick to the blood stains and then back to you. You think you can hear a hint of nervousness in her voice. You're mistaken, Cutter. Please help me. My sister lies dying while we tarry. You're up to something. Tell me what's going on or I'll kill you. Oh. Let's go for the bluff. I got some experience points. She looks into your eyes and then glances at the scars that cover your body. She swallows nervously, and you see her pale before your eyes. I'm supposed to lure people into an alley nearby. They're waiting there to take your jink. She looks at you apprehensively. Let me give you some advice. She gazes at you in silence and nods her head. Don't pick someone like me as your mark. Choose some drunken fop that looks like he's never seen a battle in his life. She nods once curtly. And make sure he looks like he has more than a couple coins to his name. Now get out of here. She nods curtly and then backs away from you. She hesitates for a moment, then turns to leave. Thank you, Cutter. She sprints off. Why didn't I have an option to, take me to them so I can kill them and set you free from this craziness? Mourns for trees. Let's see if we can follow her.
Why not then? Just show it to me.
Probably not. Nope, we're going this way now. Getting stuck on the Abishai. Did she vanish? She vanished. Alright, well, when we come back, there is a Mourns for Trees there. There's nothing we can do there. So, when we return, we'll talk to Mourns for Trees and then look around to see what we can do next. See you next time, everyone.